Hello, you're welcome back to my channel. So in this video, we'll be looking at a Princess Bustier. I already have a tutorial on that where I did 8 pieces blouses with flay, but a lot of people complain of the method, so I found a simpler one and I hope this will serve the purpose. Okay, so I have my basic pattern already. So I want to create the arm curve at the midpoint of the arm curve line. I've gone in with 1/2 inch. So I'll use the curve part of my pattern master and I link it from the shoulder slope to where I have my bust measurement divided by 4. So I have a tutorial on my channel on basic bodies blog, how to go about it. So I'll leave the link in the description box. After creating the arm curve, I'm now placing my nipple to nipple measurement plus 1/2 inch. So the nipple to nipple measurement is 8 inches. Dividing that by 2, I have 4 and I added half to it. That's 4.5. So I place that 4.5 on all the lines that I have and I'm creating a straight line. I'll leave it at 1 inch before the bust point. And I'll go back to where I have the midpoint of the arm curve line, and I will connect it using the curve part of that pattern master to meet where I stop the nipple to nipple line. So this will be for the center front. After that, I'm gonna go in with 1/2 inch on the under bust line and the half length, and then I will take it all the way down. So I'm drawing a straight line from the under bust line, okay, using that 1/2 inch, and then I'll connect it to that point that I marked 1 inch before the arm curve line. Okay, so I'll connect it to meet the 1/2 inch just from the bust point there. I'm connecting it to meet that 1/2 inch, and the other half of the basic bodies I'm going outward with 1.5 inches from the nipple to nipple line, and I will mark that 1.5 inches down from the under bust line to the blouse length. So I'll connect a straight line and then I'll go back to my nipple to nipple line, and then I'll cuff it. Note the way I use the pattern master, and I'm cuffing that to meet the bust point. Okay, now try to be careful not to make it pointy, and that's exactly what I am trying to avoid. Okay, so just watch me do it. So on the curve that I marked, we are going to observe the dart. Okay, now a kind of tightening around there so that you will not have it gapping. So on both sides of this of the first curve, I've marked 1/2 inch, and then I'll connect it to meet my bust point. Okay, I'll connect it to meet my bust point. That will serve as the tightening around that region. And on the last line, on the last curve, because we'll be taking out the dart, I've extended it with 1 inch and I'll connect it back. So that's just to replace this 1 inch that we took out. 1/2 plus 1/2 on both sides of that curve made it 1 inch. So I'm replacing that, and then I will add it to my bust measurement divided by 4. So I'll connect that new curve now to where I have added the 1 inch to my bust measurement divided by 4. Note that I've not added my seam allowance yet. So I'll go to my waistline and I'm placing 1/4 of my waist measurement, my waist circumference, and I'll replace the dart, which is about 2 inches, and then add it to that which I already have, so that when we cut out this dart, that 2 inches will not be short of our measurement. On the blouse length, I'm placing 1/4 of the hip circumference, and I'm replacing 2 inches dart, and that's it. Then I will connect the bust measurement to the waistline, and then I'll link it to the hip line there. So now I'll use my cuff, to blend this curve that I already have there. A lot of lines went in there, so I'm just trying to make it as curvy as possible. Okay, so we'll have good room for our bust. I'll be cutting this out, and then we'll move over to the back panel. So we have our center front, and I'm cutting out that around the arm curve region. For the back panel, I have the basic block here, and then I used about 1 inch for the zipper allowance. So I have my arm curve already drawn. So I'll be extending that chest line. Okay, so for the back panel, we only need the chest line and the back half length. So on the back half length, I'll be creating my dart, placing my nipple to nipple measurement, which is 4 inches, plus half, and then half again. So when we sew that 1 inch, we'll go back to where we have our nipple to nipple measurement. Okay, so I'm placing 4.5 on the blouse length and on the chest line. This will help me to create a straight line. Okay, using that midpoint on the back half length which I marked. So I'll create a straight line touching the chest line and the blouse length. On each side of this line now, I am going to create two mirror triangles, but on the hip line, I'm going upward with 2 inches, and then I'll create this mirror triangle from that point. On the chest line, I would like to go down with 1 inch, okay, and then I'll connect it from that point to meet the dart that I already marked. Now, this is so that it will not affect the bust circumference. Same way I created room for the hip, that's what I'm doing for the chest now. So when I'm done with that, if you just want a basic back panel, okay, this will do. But if you want to make a princess dart, a princess curve for the back as well, you get the midpoint of that arm curve, and then you connect it to meet your dart line. Note that the back panel is always 1 inch higher at the shoulder and ½ inch wider at the arm curve. So if you look closely, you will notice that the arm curve there is different from that which we have on the front panel. So I'm just going to connect that to meet the new shoulder line that we have for the back. And I'll measure from that point, I'll measure the line and get the midpoint, and then connect that to meet the dart line. So I'll draw a line and then I'll connect it. And because I don't want to be short of the fabric, okay, when I'm sewing, I've added 1 inch to that new line, and I'll connect it to meet my bust circumference, okay. On my waistline, I am placing 1/4 of my waist circumference, and then I'll replace the dart which I have taken out, which is 1 inch, and then I'll put it back, adding it to the waist circumference divided by 4. On the hip line there, that's the blouse length, I am placing 1/4 of the hip circumference. Okay, and because we didn't take anything out, that's just it. So I'll connect the bust circumference, the bust measurement to the waistline, and the waistline to the hip, and then smooth out any sharp edge which I already have. Okay, so I really don't like the look of this straight line, so I'm just trying to make it a bit curvy, okay, just to blend it out. To avoid your zipper bulging, okay, I like to take out 1 inch from on my back half length line. Okay, I'm going inwards with 1 inch from the back center line, and that's just to help that place be flat, okay, and not bulgy. It gives a smart look to your back view. So when I'm done with this, I'm simply cutting this out. So I'll be using this pattern to create a 12 pieces blouse. If that's what you like to learn, please subscribe and watch out because I'll be uploading the videos in series. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video.